enemies are growing stronger.
Hello there, my name is CouchCube, and yes, we are going to look at Anvil Vault Breakers. Came out today on Game Pass, 2nd of December, and I had the opportunity to preview this on my It's Time to Talk videos. This is one of the first games that's come to fruition from that set of videos. We've got a bunch of them, Atomic Heart included, but I want to tell you now, it feels like Alienation. It feels more like Alienation than the Ascent. So the Ascent's a little bit slower and bulkier, this is a bit flashier and quicker, but it's got an unbelievably good upgrade system that I'm going to show you, and some incredible enemy variation, which I was really concerned about when looking at some of that early footage. This game is totally delivered on enemies. They're a Korean studio, and they've come out with a few mobile games previously. Don't let that put you off. All this footage is going to be solo. I want to give you guys an idea of what the game's like offline, completely on your own, and it is so enjoyable. I was also thinking that it was going to push loads on it, having to be played multiplayer with other people, with the powers, the synergies, the way the enemies would come at you. No, totally works, and you get some really cool NPCs that come along with you, and they're really funny, and the enemies do not leave them alone. They are totally awesome as a distraction. I was also a little worried about the graphics. I was thinking maybe it will chug when stuff gets busy. A lot of that footage, we didn't know what systems it was on. This is running on the PC, on Ultra, beautiful. Didn't even have to put frame rates up on the screen. It never dipped, feels perfect, even during very busy boss fights. And of course, some of the specials just take up the whole screen. And the boss fights, as you can see, are pretty damn epic. Now, I'm not going to show you loads of mid-game or end-game spoiler enemy types or biomes, because I've only been playing this today for about 6.5, 7 hours. I went straight through today. I fired this up and I haven't stopped playing it since, and thought, let's get the video out now so I can go and slam it some more. This is the skill tree. I wanted to talk to you guys about the weapon variation and just put some fears to rest as whether that's going to be really shallow or not. Holy crap, no. There's kind of a lot of layers on building your character, and this is all about build. In typical roguelike fashion, you're starting with a base level model, and then you're going to various pillars within the ends of the levels to pick and choose a pathway to upgrade that particular character, and we'll get to that in a second, but the changes are huge and they're really awesome. I'm talking about Diablo style cosmetic differences on your specials when you start pumping materials and XP and skill sets into them. There's like over 10 characters to unlock, and if you saw my It's Time to Talk video, I was particularly concerned with the melee dude and whether that was going to be a bit boring and a bit mundane and not something that you want to explore when it came to single player, because you want that range and the excitement. Man, he's amazing. He does a lot of damage and he's a big tank. You get that perk which gives you a bit of health back when dealing damage. There's that sweet spot that if you're aggressive enough, you don't have to worry too much if you keep an eye on things. Incidentally, the health is that white bar above me, and if you're playing a ranged character, you will have your ammo, which is that yellow material. I want to get to the reroll system because I think it's kind of the selling point for this whole game. And what happens is every boss encounter is rerolled, and when you start the planet you get like these episodic chunks it shows you at the beginning screen, and there will be intermittent bosses represented in these chunks that will also switch out. So not only are your level types switching out, your boss types are, and also the enemy types that exist within those levels. So I'm seeing fresh content every single run I'm going through on the first biome, which is absolutely amazing. Also, your weapon drops are switching out, and you'll pick up and discover completely new weapon types during an early stage playthrough, which is amazing. And the relic chests, or these upgrade stations that you get at the end of each stage, will have 3 different options in them every time. Absolutely genius stuff. what all these directions breed is a completely different build on each playthrough. A lot of modern roguelikes do it. Games deck builders like Slay the Spire would do it, where it will give you an avenue to pursue to create a completely new thing within that character's sphere. It's an excellent idea, and it's promoted really well in here. Visual changes in the standard powers that you came out the gate with, because you've promoted and used different perks on different sections of that character. The fruition of that is so well played out, and you just feel like you've put a bit of personal input into making your dude a lot more badass. Spread that out over all the different characters the game gives you, and you've got yourself a hell of a lot of replayability and a real want to sort of explore all of the characters and see what extremes you can take them to. I played as the female character. At one point she's got a buff on her at the moment for XP, it sort of switches it out, and she was extremely squishy. Her teleport was not a dash, and of course it was a different thing to get my head around. And the guy who's got the melee and axe, he doesn't even have a dash. He has a block on the left trigger which you can activate whilst you're doing everything else. This could be the Monster Hunter of twin stick shooters. Do I miss it not having a campaign? Not at all, because I thought about it like this. This game couldn't be this difficult, this challenging and this varied if we were in an on-rails campaign section. The reason I want to keep going back to it is because it's got that returnal, switch-out randomization system that's so deep. You never feel you're going to have the same game twice, which is reoccurring in a lot of modern roguelikes, I'm aware, but it's really great to see it in such a colourful Alienation clone. So here's one of the kickers. It could easily be couch co-op. I thought maybe the camera might need to turn around, there must be an issue with the game having a lot of performance, but if you can run the particles and craziness that goes on in the Ascent on couch co-op, you can sure as hell run this. So I'm a little bit devastated by that, but this shotgun kind of cheers me up a bit. It actually also does have a whiff of Rift Breakers. You're right. I don't know if I've read your mind there, but I feel kind of that colour and the crazy designs of these monsters and aliens. And of course your first biome is very much out in the forest. There is that look to it. We're so in the golden age. We're in a new renaissance age of amazing twin stick shooters, and I'm so gutted, as I always say. I went and peddled out a damn top twin stick list about 3 weeks ago, and of course I didn't whack this in it, because this date of the release, I heard it was the 4th, Mary said it was the 4th, then it was the 2nd. It was a real pleasant surprise to see it go up last night. Would I pay 20 quid for it if it wasn't on Game Pass? Yeah, I definitely would. For a PlayStation 5 version, and if I had some mates who were going to get it as well, totally would. But the fact that this is on, I do this, again, I'm repeating myself here, but the fact that this is on Game Pass, in 6GB, my God, it's got to be got. It really is beautiful, sounds, looks amazing. It's not going to challenge you massively, I don't think, because you can grind and get a little bit OP, but I'm so looking forward to seeing those new planets and biomes, and the difficulty is perfect. I do not mind the one player stuff because we get some funny NPCs, man. This is a rusty old mech dude that I managed to resurrect. I did not regret doing that. Also, it's craziness. When it wants to go mad, it goes completely mad, and it handles it as well. And you don't lose where you are, and you don't realise you're taking damage from a direction you hadn't catered for. And I've got a gun that bounces lasers off everything. The smile across my face is massive. And I'm thinking, I've got Evil Genius to play later on this afternoon, and this whole lot is costing me 6 quid a month. Where would I place it in the great hierarchy of twin stick shooters? well, it's in the top 3. It's not as good as the Ascent as far as I'm concerned on a campaign level, which is an obvious one, but of course missing that couch co-op on a game that blatantly could handle it is a bit miffing. Maybe they'll add it, we can but hope. Been on the couch co-op theme, I am coming out with 2021's top 5, okay? It's really close and just about to drop. Preferably at the end of the weekend is PlayStation 5's 2021 top single player games. It's been a year and a bit since I did a top single player games list. That one will be a huge one, as always, for the channel, so...